Well, hello, friends. Today we are going to do something about the launcher, this guy right here, because I am getting a little bit tired of the way that it looks. Um, and I used to think it was kind of neat, but the more I see it, the more I just wish it wouldn't be there. So today I think we're just going to move this functionality of like app launching up here into the system menu. We already have three launchers here, but they are hard-coded in the Windows server. So I think we're just going to get rid of launcher and have an automatically populated menu up here. So the way that we would do this is let's see, in the res directory, /res in our system, we'll have something like apps, and in apps we will have files that describe each app. So why don't we call them something like terminal.app file. Yeah, that's kind of a kind of a cute name extension, actually. Terminal app file. So it would look like this: terminal executable bin terminal, and then we also need the icon. So 16 by 16. Because then, if you wanted to, you could also find a 32 icon, and you could imagine adding more stuff here, like a startup directory, environment variables, arguments, whatever else you wanted, right? But to begin with, I think that this type of format will actually do pretty well for what we need. So let's just add these for the few things that we had already. And let's do something that we didn't have, like I'm drawing a blank browser, for instance. And why not Hack Studio? Those, I haven't added those to the launcher, and I kind of want to add them to the launcher, but at the same time I don't want to make it even bigger and fugglier. So now let's just go and do something about this so we never have to deal with launcher again. And maybe one day launcher would come back, but it would have to be very different, because it just sticks out like a sore thumb, So what do we call the Hack Studio one? Hack Studio, yeah. So that one was easy, and I think browser uses the file type HTML as its icon. So there's that. System monitor, system monitor. I'm just gonna make a few of these. I mean, I'm gonna make these ones that we just have here, and then we're gonna move on to implementing. And then we can continue adding more apps. File manager. I know file manager has some like uses some goofy icon. I think, no, wait, it's file type folder. Okay, so let's say that this is good enough, and let's see what we can implement. So if you look at this menu here, it's actually, this lives in Windows Server, because menus are always rendered by Windows Server. And let's see if we can yeah, this is the one I wanted. This is where we do the menu, so it's in the WS Window Manager constructor. Basically, we just have this hard-coded list of app menu items, we call them, and we just add those. So I think these are not going to be hard-coded anymore, so we'll have to do something more like that. And then we're going to produce this list manually, and we broke something down here. I guess we just have to call them dot characters since these are string now. So let's iterate over the files. So let's use a directory iterator. C dear iterator. Res apps. C dear iterator. Skip dot and dot dot. Those are not useful to us. Well, DT has next. DC next path. Is that going to give us? I always forget if it gives you the full path or the part, just the file name. It looks like just a file name. Okay. So then we're going to need to construct the whole path. So file path. Maybe we'll call it AF. App file name, app file path is I'll just do it like this for now. AF. No. Res apps. AF name characters. All right, and then let's see. Auto. AF is C config file, open path. Maybe there's no way to open a C config file. Yeah, because currently we only have like get for app, which creates or fetches it in your home directory. Like this one is for user specific configuration files that sit in your home directory, and then we have get for system, which looks in etc. But I think we're probably going to want to decide for ourselves what the path is. So we're just going to say, I'm just going to have a version here, just call it open. Takes the path, because we just want to open this thing. And cconfig file is like an ini file format reader, by the way, which is clearly the format I was using for these files. Good old ini format, or INI, as who calls it that? I heard someone calling it INI files. Maybe it was Roger Clark. Well, I call them ini, I guess. Anyway, so let's see. If AF has, we gotta check if it is valid first. So if it doesn't have app name or AF passkey app executable, then let's just skip over it. Then we're not interested. Otherwise, if it has those, then app name is AF read entry app name app executable is, and app icon path is icons 16 by 16. And then we can finally get rid of these. And we can do apps.append app name, app executable. Can we use append actually? App executable app icon path. Does that work? Servers, Windows, server. Did not work. Oh, right. You cannot use append when there is no constructor. Right. So we'll just do this. No, not that one. This one. And I guess we need to probably recompile libcore because we added that cconfig file constructor thingy. Yeah. So maybe a full rebuild is needed. And let's see. No, we don't need to change anything, I guess. Let's see how this looks. Oh, well, I put those in the wrong order, I guess. So it'll be like that instead. And let's not start the launcher. Who starts the launcher anyway? Isn't it system server? Yeah. Go away launcher. Okay, very nice and fresh. And look at these. Boop. It's pretty sweet. Boop. I like it. Although I kind of wish that, or I don't wish anything, but like, I feel like this is going to become very crowded as we add more things. So we're probably going to need to put these into categories. Let's add some more apps, and then we'll see how out of control this gets. So let's see. Let's do Chan Viewer and display properties. I don't know if we have an icon for calculator. I guess we should tolerate not having an icon. Somebody should make an icon for that. Downloader. I didn't get very far on that program yet. Font editor. Text editor. IRC client. Yeah. Okay, so if I do all of these that I've typed out now, then I feel like it's going to get very crowded. So let's just do these. Chan Viewer. What are these called? Chan Viewer. This would be easier if they would have the exact name of the app as the icon name, I guess. It's a little bit convoluted now. Display properties. Display properties is a strange app. It's kind of arbitrary that it's its own thing. I feel like maybe it should become part of a bigger settings app at some point. But right now it is a standalone app. Also, maybe I would call it display settings. I don't know yet. Not the most important thing, just something that crossed my mind just now. Calculator, because you know you're setting stuff about the display. You're not just learning the properties of it. But these are very arbitrary technical terms anyway, so I don't want to think too much about it. So we don't have that calculator icon, right? So I'm just gonna, maybe we can do this. And that will be a fix me. Because I guess we should support not having one as well. Do we have app-font-editor? Yes, we do. but we don't have 32 one. That one is here, so it's a little bit of a mess here in the icons directory. I should go and sort this out eventually. Gave everything consistent names and whatever, but maybe not the most interesting video material. So let's see, hex editor, almost done. App hex editor, PNG, IRC client. This capitalization bothers me, by the way. I kind of want to rename it to this, but I'm not sure. Sometimes I wonder if we're ever gonna like give these things some real names instead of just these obvious like text editor, font editor. Yeah, kind of like these super obvious names. They're very endearing in their own way. So paintbrush. Is that the right name? No, it's paintbrush with no dash here. All right. Well, that's a whole lot of making these files. So let's see how this looks. What the frick? Assertion failed. Oh, we're trying to load a PNG, and that's the path that was not valid. We should probably handle that a little bit better. Jesus. So what's going on here? Mapped file. This is the map file constructor, right, in load PNG. And this crashes in the kernel because of that missing path, I guess. Sys open. Validate read. Validate read. Assertion size. Oh shit! If we're calling the 0 path length here, then I guess 0 path length call to open. I would say that's an e-inval condition. I'm going to make a judgment call on that one. Okay. And look at all these. Oh, dude, I love this so much more than Launcher. Why didn't I do this forever ago? So awesome to see the little 16 by 16 icons. They're so pretty. Ah, dude. This one's background color clashes a little bit with this menu thingy here, but damn, this looks so cool. Very nice. All right, so maybe we should split these into categories. How about maybe like system and development, and internet. Let's try making some categories. So let's see. How do we categorize these? We'll just make an internet category first. So let's say category. internet. Chan viewer, category, internet, IRC client, internet. Okay, and I guess Hack Studio goes into development, and font editor also goes into development, let's be honest. It's only used for developing the system. And I guess hex editor goes in development as well. And then we have like accessories. Utilities. Utilities are accessories. Utilities, let's say. I guess everything else is going to go in utilities. Am I forgetting file manager? Utilities. Yeah, I guess we could put these in directories also, but this will work for now. So let's commit that kernel change, by the way. Kernel open with a 0 length path should fail with enval. And those libcore changes for cconfig file. Cconfig file open for opening an arbitrary ini file. Okay. And then, I mean, I guess we can already add the Windows Server stuff. Let's add them as is. Windows Server. Oh. Space. Res apps. Windows Server. Show. Let's see. Let's do this server, system server change it in separate commit. Yeah. Windows Server. Add application. Automatically populate system menu. Launchers from res apps. New directory system directory res apps now contains AF files. Describing applications name executable path icon. These are used to populate the system menu with application shortcuts. Just replace the launcher app. Let's stop launching the launcher app. System server stop launching the launcher app on startup. Launcher is being replaced by application shortcuts in the system menu. Okay. Now let's see about those categories. So, I guess what we want to do is create some submenus. So, how do we do that? Add item is submenu, right? So, wait, how the hell do we add a submenu from? I've only ever made submenus in apps. I never made a submenu in the Windows server. So a menu has menu items, and you insert those by calling add item. Sure. Menu item can be non-text or separator, and if it's text, but it has a submenu ID. Aha, okay. So let's make submenu thingies whenever you encounter a category. So let's see, hash map. We kind of want to hold on to these things. We can't just put them on the frickin' stack here in Window Manager's constructor. We're gonna have to put them somewhere. This probably doesn't belong in Window Manager, but we're putting it here for now. Hash map string to own putter, or no, not own putter, but or maybe actually we don't need to hold on to it because we add the menu to the system menu and then it will just stay there. So it's okay to have a temporary reference on the stack. Now that I think about it. So we'll just have a string to a G menu, no, WS menu. Okay, category menus. Okay, and then we will get the category. Okay. String category. Category, all right. And then down here where we construct this whole thing, maybe we'll do these in a kind of want, or no, it doesn't matter what order they're in, actually. We can worry about that later. I was thinking about alphabetizing them or whatever, but or putting them in a vector so they're in order of appearance, but let's worry about that later. What we really want to do is just walk the set of categories that we have. So if app category is not null, then CWS menu insertion menu is M system menu putter. So we're going to insert into the system menu if we don't know any better. And, or maybe we'll call it parent menu. So if we have a non-null category string, then if category menus contains app category, or if it doesn't contain it, category menus, or no, let's see. Make WS menu. How do we make one of these? WS menu construct. And this is the client connection. It doesn't have a client connection because this menu doesn't belong to any client. It belongs to the Windows server. So the client is null putter. And we don't need a menu ID, but we do need the name of it. So app.category. And then we want to add this to the system menu. So add item, make WS menu item. And we want to make it inside of the system menu. And it's a, don't care about the ID, but the name is going to be app category. And maybe we'll do it like this. Auto item is like that. Because then we can also say set submenu ID, and then we got to make a submenu for it. And that's going to be category menu ID. I think this is how this is going to work. So you make a category menu, and this is not going to stay alive by itself, actually. So who's going to own this? I guess we'll just have to stash it somewhere. So maybe we do need to add something here. Oh no, not string, hash map. String to own putter, no, ref putter, on null ref putter to WS menu. App category menus. Okay, and I think we're going to construct these, by the way, before we do the rest of the walk here. So we'll do one pass, just constructing all the category menus. Continue. And if you already have it, we can continue. Okay. First, construct all the necessary app category submenus. First, we construct. Then we insert all the apps into the app menu items into the right place. Create and insert. All right. App category menus contains. Then parent menu is app category menus. Wait, no, we can write this in a different way. App category menus dot get app category value or system menu. I think that'll work. Oop, oop. Adorable. We can auto that. Can we? Yes, we can. Parent menu, add item. You see, you could even take this further and be like this, but this is just too much, man. Alright, no, that's not gonna work. Why doesn't it let us do that? Oh, right. But, come on. Value or is very pleasant thing. These don't look pleasant at all. Shame on me for using so many bool things. This is a great example, by the way, of something I was talking about a while ago in some commute talk, I think, about how these repeating Boolean arguments, they look so terrible at the call site because I don't know what these things are. And if they were enums, then it would be so easy to tell what they are. What the hell are they anyway? Enabled, checkable, and checked. Right, super obvious. But that's not why we're here. So, category menu. We want to make sure that we don't lose that. So we'll do app category menus. Set app category, move category menu. Okay, will this work? Will it build? Seems to build. Cool, except they don't look like, this is not working right. Category font editor, that's not what I meant to type there. And let's leave paintbrush alone so we have one outside, but they don't show up as submenus. I guess I have to say that they are submenus. Set, no? Menu ID, oh wait. If I just give them a like a bullshit menu ID like this, it's not gonna work. Category menu. Wait, how does the submenu ID looked up anyway? So it thinks it's not a submenu because it's -1. That's fair. So we got to give it some kind of unique number, I guess. So we'll just use app category menus size as the ID, plus some cool magic number. Maybe 500 was not cool enough, since these are close to the numbers we're using down here for magic. All right, come on. And now we crash. Why is that? We crash because the menu doesn't have a client. Oh, because I guess we think that only clients use submenus. Where's that? Menu item.cpp, right? 48. So we're asking for the submenu, but we don't have a client. So if we don't have a client, if we do have a client, we'll do this. Otherwise, we'll ask the window manager. This will be a little bit weird, but let's see. Internal menu by ID. Find internal menu by ID. Let's see, M submenu ID. So, window manager. Let's just add a thing for that. So let's see. Find an internal menu by ID. I mean, that much is obvious. So this is just going to look it up in the app category menu thing. Return M app category menus. Get. No, this is by string. Frick. Okay, so we got we gotta walk here. It's okay. Let's iterate the thing. It's not the most efficient because we have to walk the whole thing, but it's okay. This is not something that we do often, and we don't have that many entries in this thing anyway, at least not now. Suppose if you install thousands of apps, it might become a problem. Menu ID. If menu ID is the same as this, then return AT value. And that's pretty nice, although they don't close the currently open ones, so that's confusing. Why is that? WS menu item. If someone is a submenu, we're supposed to close all the other menus when you hover over a submenu. So I'm just looking in the WS menu event. So we get a mouse move over a WS menu, and we're mousing over some item. And if it is a submenu, then we'll pop that up. And if you hover over something that's not a submenu, then we will, or maybe I just never actually had a situation like this before. Because the only place where we use submenus is like here, for instance, but you can't go to another submenu. So maybe we never just had the scenario where you have multiple submenus within the same menu. But this is clearly not right, although it looks very neat. But I mean, it looks neat on the left-hand side, and then this doesn't look good. And also, why do they go away when I try to hit them? That's not right. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff to do. When you open a submenu, we ask it to pop up, but then we gotta shut down any currently open submenus. Close remaining menus. What's that about? So what does this do? It walks to Windows menu stack. So what is going on here? Why is it closing them when we try to open a category? So like I try to go from utilities to system monitor. Oh, that works. Okay. Development to these. That works. Wait, now everything just works? Okay. This is definitely a bit glitchy. So maybe it just gets screwy. Oh, now it's all screwy again. Okay, so this code is definitely glitchy. So when we open a submenu, we want to make sure we close every other submenu at that same level. So why is this treated differently? So if you hover something that's not a submenu, then we close remaining. But we should probably always do this, no? So isn't it just that this should be like this? Or maybe I'm not seeing something here. feel like we should always close the remaining menus. But clearly not. I guess that's closing too much, yeah. Okay, so what does this do? The open menu stack is supposed to be like the menus in order of the way that they were open. So like the root menu that you opened, and then the child submenu that you opened, and the submenu of that, and so on. So when you get to this, that's when we start out not closing anything, and then when we get to this, then we close everything after this. Oh, I see. But in the case of in this case, we don't want to do that. I see what we were getting at here. So if you're hovering a submenu, open menu is this. Is it that we want to take the previously hovered item, and then if there was a previously hovered item, then maybe we close that first. Is this what we want to do? If there was a previously hovered item, then we close all of his children. That's not logical either. Okay. Suddenly I'm a little bit brain fuzzy on what to do here, so. I just want to make sure that my siblings are not open. So maybe we'll factor this out into a separate function, because this is so annoying to follow. Or we want to make sure that everything that's not a direct ancestor of hovered item and we want to make sure that everyone's not a direct ancestor of hovered item is closed, or hovered item itself. Close everyone but tree, not in menu tree, everyone not in tree, everyone not in lineage, maybe. Of hovered item. Okay. Lineage, by the way, is a term that my friend Auntie and I decided at some point to use in WebKit, meaning like every one of your ancestors plus yourself. That's your lineage in a tree. Whereas it's distinct from ancestors, because ancestors does not include yourself. So we had a bunch of places where we wanted to do some algorithm that would be visiting all the ancestors, but also yourself. And lineage was the name we came up with for that, and I've been using it since. So that's where that comes from. That's why it seems obvious to me. Maybe it's not obvious to people who did not work on WebKit. Everyone not in lineage of WS menu item. Okay, so now we can just walk the open menu stack and say if open menu is in, let's see, how do we compute this? Why is my nose so itchy today? If it is item or open menu is ancestor of item. Why don't we like this? Oh, shit. I want to do that. And then we want to pass the submenu. Right. And like that. Menu, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm just working out what the API should be here. Okay, like that, and that. Close everyone not in lineage. It's a very arbitrary place to put this, but maybe it's okay. Actually, maybe this doesn't need to be a member function. I don't know why I wanted it to be a member function. Okay, too aggressive, I guess. Close everyone not in lineage. Oh, shit. Not in lineage. It's good if I remember what I'm trying to do. Oh, it closes itself. Or the... this is very, very confusing. Excuse me. Clearly, the system menu should be an ancestor of. But how do we determine ancestry of these? Oh shit. This is ancestor of in the C object sense. And the menus don't do that. Okay, so the menu objects are not put into a C object graph that maps to the way the menus are laid out physically. So we cannot use is ancestor of like that. That's just me being optimistic. Unless we arrange the C object graph or the menu object graph to correspond to the physical layout of the menus, which, you know, might make sense actually, but it's a little bit of a bigger refactoring than I would like to do at the moment. So I guess instead we just have to look at the submenu ID. Everyone not in my lineage. So maybe that's essentially what this thing is doing. So we'll put this up here. And then instead of saying this, we say menu. And then you would be closing everyone after you encounter yourself or some arbitrary menu. So after we encounter the previously hovered items, submenu. This is a bit confusing. Maybe a cheap way out of this would be to just reopen everything. Like close all the menus and then reopen them in order. Why does this feel so hard to reason about? Function definition is not allowed here. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not right. I mean, it's a little bit right, but sometimes it doesn't work. This is not. Why is it so unreliable? From here to here. I wonder what's causing this very strange effect. Damn. Okay, why am I braining out on this? This doesn't have to be so difficult, Andreas. Close everyone not in lineage. What am I trying to do? What am I trying to do? Let's have some more tea. Maybe that will help us. Close everyone not in lineage. So I have one menu open. Let's sketch this out in a text document here. Always on top. I don't like the menu bar, go away. Okay, so system menu. And we have, say, submenu. Yeah, like utilities. And maybe terminal here. And then we have network or internet. And the menu stack is this thing right now. When the utilities menu is open, then this is the menu stack. This menu, then this menu, then this menu. And if I hover on this thing, then I want to shut down this menu. That's what I want to close. So I want to close everyone who's not in the lineage of this menu. So I don't want to look at the lineage of the submenu, because that would mean that I shut down everyone who's not in. I mean, that should be okay too. Because if I hover here, then this will pop up, and then I would shut down everyone who's not in the lineage of this submenu. Which means that we walk from here, we don't shut this down, then we get to this menu, we don't shut this down, we get to this menu, we do shut that down. Close everyone not in lineage. This is really like close everyone after though. Close everyone. I feel like this logic is right, it's just that we don't have the lineage function. So maybe we just need to invent one. Let's see, WS menu. What if we had a function for this? Is menu ancestor of, let's say. This is really unfortunate, by the way, that I'm overloading this term from the C object stuff. So I don't love this, but let's see if we can implement this. Other. This menu ancestor of, okay. Then we can have is in lineage. Close everyone out of lineage. Then we want to do it the way I was doing it before. So if not, if menu is open menu dot putter, or open menu is menu ancestor of menu. Okay. Now, how do we figure out if this guy is a menu ancestor? I guess we gotta walk our items. If item is submenu, continue, right? If return, let's say, menu ancestor of, or no, hold on. Item, oh, how do we find the frickin' submenu? Wait, aren't we supposed to be able to get the submenu? Yeah, we need a non-const. Okay, I'm just gonna add a cheat. Submenu is menu ancestor of other. If item is other, excuse me, return true. Oh, right. Submenu is okay. So we'll recurse through the submenu tree and see if we find this menu. That will tell us that we are indeed an ancestor of it if it's found somewhere in our descendants. Oh, why is this so tricky? Damn. Okay, what am I screwing up here? Is menu ancestor of. Okay, so we walk our menus, menu items, and then if we find a submenu, then we grab the submenu, And if the submenu is what we're looking for, then we say true. Otherwise, we look through the submenu and say, hey, are you the thing that we are looking for? Okay. Now let's see here. Closing, open menu, name. It's not in lineage of. Frickin' tree structures. Why are they like this? Why can't you be more like vectors? Closing the system menu because it's not in lineage of utilities. Does that make sense? Closing system menu. So we're asking the system menu if he's a menu ancestor of the menu. So we're calling this on the system menu, and we don't find utilities anywhere inside of it. That doesn't seem right. I would assume that it would be one of our children. So, utilities. Debug. Let's just say WS menu or name is menu ancestor of other name. All right. Here we have a item text submenu submenu. I'm just curious, what are we actually finding here? Utilities, submenu true. Okay, that's what I was expecting. Utility submenu true. And then shouldn't this be exactly what we find here? This part is confusing to me. Okay, so what the frick are we finding? Debug. Submenu name is we can just do that as a Boolean. It is other. Okay, so we return that it's an ancestor of this. Fine. Okay. My conditions are so backward. Okay, so hold on. Now what are we doing? Let's do this from the start. This should be easier, but it's not today. So, boom. Then we try to open the next one. Then what the fuck happened? Closing it because it's not in lineage of development. That doesn't seem right. So I'm missing something, probably in this function. Do we return stupidly early somehow? I guess we don't walk all of the children. If it's an ancestor, return true. Because otherwise we don't visit the rest of the children, right? So only by looking everywhere can we say definitively that it's not the right thing. Okay, here we go. Finally. Jesus, that was annoying. Now I can't get to them, except sometimes I can. I'm not really sure why. But maybe this can tell us now. So why do you close things? Bloop, bloop. Okay, so go over there. Some other logic that's closing them. So who's closing the menu this time? Wow, this was unnecessarily difficult for me. But sometimes it's like that, you know. You can't be fast at everything. Maybe I'll leave the debugging stuff around for now, just in case we have to, because it's not like we're bug-free yet. So, where are we calling? Why doesn't find usage work? Where is the find usage thing? Oh, it's just not working today? All right, let me open the Cube Creator again. Okay, do you want to work now? Yes, you do. Okay, so Cube Creator sometimes has a little bit of a confusion headache. And then find usage or find references to symbols stops working, and then it's annoying. But you can just restart it. So who's closing those menus? I want to know. So who's calling set visible? Oh, that's the thing that just is refusing to work. So maybe I was just shitting on Cube Creator for the wrong thing. Menu window set visible. Menu window set visible. False. Okay. Close current menu. Maybe that's what's happening. I'm not sure how that's used. Don't recall. Close. Maybe here we should be doing the same thing though. Set visible false if it's not this. Is it possible that this was the solution? Because I like how expressive it is. Well, I certainly spent a lot of time on this. Let's bring up the text editor. Oh, I don't have it. Well, we gotta fix that. How can we not have text editor? That's such an oversight. What's a text editor? And, oh, frick. What does it use? Text editor, C. Main uses what? This is the icon for the 16 by 16. And what do we use for the 32 by 32? Do we have app text editor? Yes, we do. Right, okay. Text dash editor? No, text editor like that. Let's grab the paintbrush and put him in a category, I think. Utilities. Or maybe graphics. And we can put display properties in graphics as well. Just to play around a little bit. Look at that. This is adorable. Oh, it didn't launch anything. Wait, did I just put some... Did I even test that these things work? What the frick? Main WS window manager. I guess it would be nice if they would work also. Apps. Right, so we make these app things, and then how do we know? We just get this on item activation callback. And then we look at the item identifier, which is the app index, which, let's be honest, should be app identifier. And then what? Oh, but it's not, they're not in this place anymore. They're in different submenus. So item activation has to be handled a little bit differently. Right. So we'll just say auto, or no, what do we do? We gotta have the same thing in all of them. Oh, this is so silly. When we construct the category menus, category menu on item activation. Here we go. Yes, we have like that, right? That's what we get. No, we get a menu item. Okay, that's cool. Get the item, and then we just want to do this. Essentially, and this is kind of ugly, but I just want to see that it works. So we'll set up these activation callbacks for all the submenus as well, so we can start text editor. There we go. Okay, so this could definitely be better. The categories could have icons. Calculator could have an icon. Could do a lot less printing. Closing. Lineage of menu ancestor. Okay, so you are very loud. You need to be less loud. Okay. after spending a lot of time on that. At least it finally looks the way I wanted it to. This is so freaking better than so much freaking better than the launcher. We're gonna need icons here, but it's gonna be okay. I really dig this. I hope you like it too. But I certainly do. Let's bring some of these guys up just to see them. Oh, the icon looks funny. I guess because I went from here straight to the menu somehow. How did I do that? Let's see. Oh yeah, you can do some fun stuff and get the cursor to stick. Need to fix those, but we'll get there. Paintbrush. I guess we should verify that everything starts. Oh, we got a problem. What did I do? I don't know. Damn it. Why is that happening sometimes? I don't know how to reproduce it. Okay, well, it's certainly not as common as it was before. Maybe I would just leave that problem in for now. And then that'll just be something that we can work out. Now it's doing that. And if I switch and then come back, then it works. Okay, so maybe it's like... How is that happening? I don't really understand what it is that I do wrong. Because... okay, well, there are some kind of glitches in the logic of the submenus still, but it definitely feels better, and if you just use it normally, then it works now, so that's good. So let's commit some of this, and we'll allow ourselves to be a little messy. Let's see. Base add AF file for text editor, or let's say text editor.af. Brush into category. Graphics category. Okay, so this was a little bit of a struggle bus right here, but I think we will commit this the way it looks now. I'm decently okay with it, even though there's a little bit of code duplication, but I'm okay with that for the moment. Don't have to factor everything perfectly right now. So Windows Server, organize, or organize app system menu app shortcuts into categories. If the AF file for an app contains the app category key, we'll now put it in a submenu of the system menu together with all the other apps in that same category. This is pretty neat. This is pretty neat. Wow. Well, struggle bus notwithstanding, I am really, really happy about this. This is, to me, it feels like such a huge improvement over having the launcher. Now the default desktop looks almost beautiful. I mean, I don't think the terminal ultimately shouldn't launch by default. You should get it up here in utilities, terminal, right? And maybe we can do what what my desktop does here and have a open in terminal thing that you can right click and bring it up. But right now the desktop is just a dummy background, right? Like you can't put files on it or anything like that. Maybe in the future we'll let you do that. Maybe we would even have something like a global hotkey for opening a terminal. What do I know? But I really like this. So this is too cool. Okay, I think this is going to be it for today's video. So if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching and hanging out while I continue to iterate on this Serenity operating system. Thank you very much for hanging out. It's too cool to have so many people who take an interest in this project. I'm so grateful. So thank you, everyone. It's just it weirds me out sometimes how cool it is. I'll see you next time. Bye.